Oh, nice shot. Oh, crap. Okay, I need some ammo.
Avalanche! Take cover!
Well, the avalanche doesn't actually do anything, so...
Avalanche!
There we go, got that. Yeah, the avalanche, as soon as you get to the avalanche, that's the end of the section, so we're in good shape there. And so that was our, essentially the prologue was our entry into the special world. We've had our call to adventure, and now we are irrevocably in Karat. We have no way out because we didn't enter out legally. I'm not even sure if we have our passport.
You're a tough man to kill, brother. That's a good thing, right?
You notice the rosary on Sabal's right wrist. That foreshadows some stuff. Sabal being the traditionalist of the... oh, this is nice. Being able to replay any outpost you've liberated is a big improvement from Far Cry 3, where you had to liberate them all and then reset them, which you could only reset them once you'd actually finished the game. So that makes it much more replayable, and that's arguably why, despite the fact that I like the story of Far Cry 3 better, I've played Far Cry 4 a lot more.
How did you know to find me?
He saw Bacon's chopper nearby. He's never down this far south, and I wanted to know why. Lucky for you, we were in the area when we got Darpan's text. Well, we're here. Welcome to Banapur, home of the Golden Path.
Who's this? Where's Darpan?
He didn't make it. This is Ajay Gale, Mohan's son.
Let me understand. Darpan's dead? Hmm? And you brought me this?
I'm not involved in whatever this is. I'm just looking for Lakshmana.
We're in the middle of a fucking war. We don't have time for tourists.
What was I supposed to do? Just leave him there? I'm sorry, brother. Amita's a little touchy. I'll talk to her. As for Lakshmana, it sounds like it could be a temple or shrine. But if that's the case, it's in the north. The north is enemy territory, and we can't get you there, not yet. Go and clear your head. Come find me when you're ready. Hmm?
So just a quick little bit here. Just some bits and pieces before I save. So, Darpan, his name means inducing pride. Sabal's name means with strength. And Amita, her name, by the way, is of Indian origin, and it means infinite and boundless in Sanskrit. It also, interestingly, means a truth in Hebrew, but since this is Indian, I suspect the Sanskrit is the better option there. So, infinite and boundless, which I suspect points out Amita is the pragmatic one who knows no limits. She doesn't hold back. So we're going to go and find ourselves the save point and our first journal entry. And more Assam macaques.
The Golden Path leaders. Two-headed elephant pulling an operation.
I love the color of the Far Cry games. It's one of the things A lot of people have talked about Far Cry 2 being the best of the Far Cry games, and I couldn't get into it because it was so monochrome. It was the classic military gray shooter. So let's take a look at that first of the entries. Baishak 1981. Ishwari and I were married today. The ceremony was small, just her parents and mine. The village elders still believe it is bad fortune to marry a Tarun Matara, but I don't see it that way. She is charming and intelligent. Our marriage was arranged when we were children, years before her selection as Kira's vessel, and her dowry was paid by the temple. Money enough to set up a house, maybe even buy a rice cooker. And my transfer to the Royal Guards has been approved, so I'll need new uniforms. Mohan Gale. So there's a number of things packed in there story-wise. Tarun Matara as Kira's vessel, and a reference to the temple and the elders. We'll get more on that later, so I'm not going to sort of skip ahead of the story, but just pay attention to it. So what's interesting here is Mohan actually broke with tradition by marrying Ishwari. They were an arranged marriage, but clearly they fell in love, at least to a certain extent, because they decided to go ahead with it even after Ishwari's selection as the Tarun Matara would have freed them of the arranged marriage. So, interesting little bit of compromise right there. Now let's have a look at the skills. Now, I am a huge fan of the tiger side of skills. However, I just want to take a quick look and see if there's anything. Yeah, I don't need that yet. That's really nice. I really like the idea of being able to buy explosive arrows and fire arrows. We're going to get the bow really quickly, so being able to buy explosive arrows, especially for one of the first big missions, could be really useful. On the other hand, the knife throw takedown is probably my favorite move. So I can't afford that one yet. It costs 2. You know what? I think I'm going to take this one. Oh, it's 2 as well. I am out of touch. Yeah, see, neither of those have a huge impact. No, we'll do this. The harvester is tremendously useful early on. Yeah, these 2 are going to be my first 2. Start with Gadget Trainer, and then I'll get Harvester. Because having the camera show collectibles will make it much easier for you guys to watch. So that's that. And now, before we call this done... Oh, there was money on that table. Alright, let's read this. Communal safe houses. Remember that the safe houses are shared communal spaces for all Golden Path members. It's important you leave each safe house in a clean and tidy state for the next soldiers. We all need to pitch in and help. Above all else, if you take anything from the trading post, you must leave money to cover the items. Longinus helps us with the supplies, but we still need to pay him. We are not a charity, and supplies are scarce. Sabal. So let's do some trading. So we've unlocked a couple weapons. Now, at this point, I only have 1 weapon slot. And until I get some wolf skins, I won't get my second, so I'll need to do the mission with Amida first. So first, though, let's sell. Now you can quick sell everything that you can't craft with, which is square, so I'm just going to do that. Boom. And because we're looking at a fairly devalued currency, 127,939 karate rupees is not the biggest thing you've ever seen. So, let's have a quick look. These are refillables. I don't necessarily want to buy any of these right now because money is at a premium here. So what do we have unlocked? So we have the sorry, I called it the Sixer. The Sixer is actually one of the signature weapons. The Sixer is the fancy version of the Mark IV. And honestly, it's kind of rubbish, but as you can see, I already own it. Curious about the exclamation point on that one right there. We're going to get the Scorpion shortly, so there's no worries about that. This is a better pistol, but I'll be honest, I'm not likely to use either one. So if I was going to take one, I'd take the Mark IV anyway, so I'm not going to buy that. Unlocked, we have... Let's see. See, that's nice. But I'm certainly not going to buy it, because that's the M133 shotgun is the default shotgun used by Pagan Min's soldiers if they're not using an AK-47. So I will pick one of those off of a dead body pretty quick. So I'm not paying for that. There will be somebody with this, the SVD. It is the first sniper rifle that you can get a hold of. It's not a great sniper rifle. You can't add a silencer to it, but it is semi-auto, so it is nicer than it might otherwise be. The Stig 90 is apparently a Swiss model of an old German assault rifle. I don't like it. It's not something I'm a fan of. So there's not a whole lot here that makes me think, ooh, I want that, except for the recurve bow. The RPG-7, I can't afford it. Golden Path members will have it, and if one of them gets killed, I might be able to loot it. So I will hold off initially, but I will want it eventually, especially before the Battle for Banipur. But this is what I'm going to get right now, because you'll get the Hunter's Bow free from Amita, and this is twice as powerful in terms of damage, and I want this. Period. Because I'm going to be doing hunting, and I probably will not... I might do the hunting on screen. It'll make it easier to do commentary, obviously. Now, I want the scope, but I'm not going to prioritize the scope just yet. Oh, and all the maps are unlocked. What I'm going to prioritize now is refilling my ammo. Alright. And the game, because it tends to run a little behind me, I for some reason I seem to open up the menu and update my skills before the game reminds me that I've got skills. So as you can see, there's actually no skills here despite the game giving us that prompt. Don't know how that works, but hey. It's a weird life. Now, a little bit of reference before I shut it down. You can see the S and the A showing on the screen there. Those are missions for Amita and Sabal, respectively. You can do them in either order. I'm going to do Amita's first because it'll enable me to get more slots in my weapons. You know what? I'm just going to keep playing. Forget stopping here. Now, Amita's going to give me the Hunter Bow, so I'm going to have to go back and replace it before I get there. But,
There is new blood in the Golden Path. This is why we will prevail. We are leaving the mistakes of the past behind.
So here we go.
Sabal says I shouldn't be doing this.
I am teaching you to protect yourself. Ah, the tourist. I'm Amita. This is Bhadra.
Hi.
Keep working. Look, I overreacted back there. We're at war. We keep losing soldiers. The work keeps piling up.
Is there anything I can do? I'm not a soldier, but I want to help.
Okay.
Notice Bhadra in the background here.
There's a farm not far from
She's
here.
going to ruin that bow, by the way,
The
dry
nun runs
firing
it, but she's old and she could use your help with some wild animals. I need you to keep the hides intact, so use this. Bhadra. What are you... Pick it up. Try again.